Students, so today's topic we have characteristics of factors of production. Okay, what are the different characteristics of factors of production that we are going to discuss today? So first characteristics, okay, production is the outcome of cooperation among the various factors of production. Once again listen, what is this production is the outcome of cooperation among So what is production? Production is the outcome of cooperation among the factors of production. The meaning is that in order to produce anything, we need to combine all the factors of production. So with the help of cooperation, with the cooperation of different factors of production, only this production is possible. So that is the first characteristics. Now second characteristics is that though we need to combine all the factors of production, okay, though we need to combine all the factors of production for any productive activity, but it is not necessary that we have to combine in fixed amount. Once again, so the second characteristics we are, though we need to combine all the factors of production for any productive activity, but it is not necessary that we have to combine all the factors of production in a same proportion or in a fixed amount. Okay, some of the factors of production may be needed in a more amount or large amount, and some of the factors of production is needed in a less amount. So I will give you one example. Okay, I'll give you one example related to this combination of different factors of production. Suppose we are talking about textile industry. So that clothes or the in a garment factory, that clothes can be produced by two methods. One is called handloom method and the other one is called power loom method. So in the case of handloom method, what will be used? The labor will be used in a larger amount and the capital or the machine equipments will be used in a lesser amount. So in handloom method, labor is required in a large amount and machine is required in less amount. Similarly, in the case of power loom method, okay, power loom method, what will be used more? Machine capital equipments will be used more and the labor will be used in the less amount. So in power loom method, machine, we can say capital or machine is required in large amount and labor in leisure amount. So second point says that whenever we combine different factors of production for any productive activities, it is not necessary that we have to combine in a fixed proportion or combine in a same quantity. No. So it depends on the techniques of production, okay, or methods of production. So if we are using the labor intensive technique, means more use of labor. So one example here we have handloom method. So handloom method is the example of which technique? Labor intensive techniques, where labor are required in a large amount and the machine capital are required in a less amount. Similarly, when we are talking about capital intensive techniques, so capital intensive techniques related to this power loom method, where more number of machine will be used and the lesser amount of labor will be used. So it depends on the techniques of production. So what we can say that the factors of production is not used in the same proportion. The proportion of labor and the capital use may vary. Okay, it depends on the techniques of production. Now the third characteristics we have all the factors of production. Okay, all the factors of production have physical existence. Physical existence means they are tangible. Tangible in the sense that all the factors of production have a physical existence, or they are considered as a tangible goods, that which we can touch, feel, handle and control. Now I will give you example. Land and capital. Land and capital, they have physical existence, and this land in the terms of agricultural land, forest, etc. So land have physical existence in the terms of agricultural land, forest, mountains, etc. Similarly, this capital also have physical existence in terms of machinery, equipments, tools, etc. Now next factors of production we have labor or we can say labor force and entrepreneur. This labor force and the entrepreneur also have a physical existence, and these two consist or comprises of men and women. So this labor force comprises of men and women, whereas this land and capital comprises of agricultural land, forest, machinery, equipments, tools, etc. So these are the characteristics of factors of production. Now fourth characteristics we have an important facts about the factors of production is that the demand for productive resources or the productive factors is a derived demand. Okay, the demand for derived demand. Okay, so the demand for any productive resources, when we are going to produce anything, we have to demand various factors of production, and when we are demanding various factors of production for any production purpose, that is called derived demand. So derived demand refers to the demand arises for another commodity due to the demand for one factors of production. I will give you one example. Suppose if we are demanding land. Suppose land is needed for the production purpose. So when we require land for the production purpose, at the same time we need to demand the other factors of production like labor and capital at the same time. So due to the demand of land, we need to demand other factors of production like labor and capital at the same time. So this type of demand is called what? Derived demand. So all the factors of production is a what type of demand? Derived demand. In order to produce any item, we need to demand the various factors of production at a same time. Okay, that's why it is called derived demand. Now next we have all the factors of production do not have same mobility. Okay, point number 5, we have all the factors of production do not have same mobility. Okay, so here you have to understand the concept of mobility. Mobility means the factors of production that can be easily shifted from one place to another place, or the factors of production it can be easily employed from one job to another job. So that concept is called mobility. Okay, so all the factors of production are not equally mobile. I'll give you example. In the case of this land it is not movable. So we can say that the land of Pakyum cannot be shifted to land of to Gangtok, or land of Gangtok cannot be shifted to Pakyum. So in the case of land, it is not possible to shift from one place to another place. Whereas in the case of labor can be easily shifted from one place to another place. So the labor force of Pakyum can be easily taken to Gangtok, as well as the labor of Gangtok can be easily brought to Pakyum for any productive purpose. So labor is mobile. Similarly, capital, some of the machinery equipments are mobile. It can be easily shifted from one place to another place. But some of the capitals like factory, machinery, once it is built in one place, that is not possible to shift to other places. So some factors of production are easily movable from one place to another place, whereas some factors of production are not possible to move from one place to another place. Similarly, the labor can be employed from one job or can be shifted from one job to another job. So agricultural labor can be easily shifted to industrial sector. So labor can be easily employed to industry, or similarly the labor who are working in industry, they can come back and again they can engage themselves in the agricultural sector. So labor is more mobile than the other factors of production. Now the next concept we have price. So we have seen that in a free enterprise or in a free market economy, all the goods and commodity have some price tags. We have seen that when you go to buy anything, you can see that the price will be mentioned there. Okay, 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 50 rupees, 60 rupees. So that are called price. Now how to define price? Price is the amount of money or the unit of money that we pay for getting any commodity. So how to define price? Price refers to the amount of money or the unit of money that we pay or that can be given to get any commodity. So that concept is called price. Now the next question we have, in order to get anything or in order to purchase anything, we need to pay price. So price is always expressed, okay, this price expressed in the terms of monetary units, or that is also called absolute monetary units, that So once again, whatever the price we pay for any commodity, that price is expressed in the terms of monetary value or monetary units, okay, or and that monetary value can be considered as a money price or absolute price. Now next concept you have to understand here, why do we pay price for a commodity? So first of all, we need to pay price for a commodity because that goods are useful to us, okay, because of its useful and because of scarce in a nature compared to our demand that have some value, and that value is expressed in the terms of money value. Once again, why do we need to pay price for a commodity? Because the commodity are useful to us, at the same time that are scarce in a nature according to our demand. So whatever the demand we have, that much amount of that resources is not available, that's why they are scarce and we have to pay price for it. Now next concept, then why some of the items are there, some of the goods are there that we do not have to pay any price? So in economics they are called free goods. So free goods refers to those goods which are gifted by our nature. Example, air, okay, fresh air, so we do not pay price for it. Water from river, ocean, seas, we do not pay price for it. But if you purchase a mineral water, then you have to pay price. So the commodity which are insufficient, or the resources which are in sufficient amount in our nature, for that we do not have to pay any price. But the items or the goods which are very scarce in our nature, for that we have to pay price. Now the next concept we have equilibrium price. So what is equilibrium? The price at which quantity demanded of a commodity equals the quantity supplied. Okay, the price at which quantity demanded equals the quantity supply. Okay, that concept is called what? Equilibrium price. This equilibrium price can be shown with the help of diagram also. I will show you this. Origin, this one is price axis, quantity axis. Now we know that quantity demand, the shape of the demand curve is downward sloping. Let's consider dt is our demand curve and SS is the supply curve. So supply curve is upward sloping, okay, supply curve is upward sloping. So the price at which, suppose say this is the price, P is the price at which quantity demand is equals to quantity supply. So suppose this is called equilibrium point, that is represented by E. So the price at which quantity demand equals the quantity supply. So here OP can be considered as equilibrium price, because at this price OP, quantity demand and quantity supply is equal. So this is our equilibrium point and this is equilibrium quantity and this one is OP is equilibrium price. So now next concept here we have to understand is that general price label. Now I'll move to the next topic, that is general price label. So what do you mean by the term general price label? We have done the concept of price also. What is price? The amount, price refers to the amount of money or the unit of money that we pay for getting any commodity, that is price. Now next we have general price label. So this general price label is average price. Okay, general price means average price of all the goods and services produced in an economy. Okay, once again this general price label means the prices of average prices of all the goods and services produced in an economy. Okay, so that concept is called what? General price label. Now this general price label may increase or decrease. Okay, so when the general price label increases or decreases, that concept is called inflation. Okay, that concept is called inflation. So what is inflation? Once again, inflation means the persistent or appreciable or the general rise in the price of all the goods and services can be considered as inflation. First, we have to understand the concept general price level. What is general price level? General price means price of average. We can say that average price of all the goods and services produced in an economy. Okay, so the general price means the average price of all the goods and services produced in an economy. Now this general price level, it may increase or decrease. So that when the general price level increases or decreases, then that concept is called what? Inflation. Inflation. Okay, so here now you have to understand the concept of inflation. We have introduced new term, that is inflation. So what is inflation? Inflation means persistent or general rise in the price of goods and services. So we can say that inflation, it is a situation in which persistent or appreciable rise in general price level. So what is inflation? It is a situation in which there is a persistent or appreciable rise in general price level. So when there is appreciable or persistent rise in the general price level, so that concept is called what? Inflation. Okay, now when we define inflation, we have to keep many things in our mind. So we have to note few points while understanding the concept of this inflation. Okay, we have to keep few things in our mind while understanding the concept of this inflation. Okay, so inflation refers to the process of rising price, not a state of high price. What is inflation? Inflation refers to, okay, it refers to a process of rising price, not the state of high price. Okay, so the meaning is that if the price of one commodity increases or if the price of one commodity is very high, so that high price cannot be considered as inflation. So what is inflation? Refers to the process of continuous rising in the price level. That means if the price increases once in a year, then that concept cannot be considered as inflation. But if the price keeps rising in every month or in every week, then that concept can be considered as a inflation. Now second thing, okay, if the price of goods and services increases, second point, if the price of goods and services increases by 1 or 2% per per annum. Okay, if the price of goods and services increases by mild, okay, if increases by only 1 or 2% per annum or per year, then that concept cannot be considered as inflation. And the last thing, if the price of only one good is increasing, then that concept also cannot be considered as inflation, because that price of particular commodity may increase due to the shortage of supply of raw materials, due to the shortage of labor, maybe due to any reason. But here you have to understand that if the price of only one commodity is increasing or decreasing, so that concept cannot be considered as inflation. Inflation means there should be the general rise in the price level. General means price of all the goods and services should increase, then only that concept can be considered as inflation. Otherwise, single commodity price rise cannot be considered as inflation.